Sawyer's knees on Pestilence. Finally getting around to doing it. Yeah. Hopefully I won't be taking up too much of your time with this one. There's not really a lot to go over. Now, the standard high-end Pestilence build that I have recommended is as follows. 3-piece Regnbue, all unicorns annoyingly. Backbone, Regnbue with glass cannon, chest, and then a Regnbue holster. Contractors, foxes, coyotes, mask. This gives you the best performance in tick as well as your actual bullet damage. A lot of people go for the tick side of things, but realistically the tick it's nice, it's good, we like it, but the tick is the weakest part of Pestilence. I'm sorry. Like, your overall bullet damage is much more preferable. This is why we go for a crit style build rather than leaning on the actual tick. Now, a lot of people wanted to know how I feel about Sawyer's knees, and the way in which you would do this, particularly trying to keep around the 3-piece Regnbue, is, again, 3-piece Regnbue, just contractors, Cheska, mask, and then Sawyer's knees. At the top end, this is more, obviously. And the reason it's more is Sawyer's knees actually offers total weapon damage, not just weapon damage. The problem here is, without the Sawyer's knees buff, you are weaker. So, we're going to look at some spreadsheets, which hopefully you can see on screen now. We got Pesti Koi, which is the first build I showed of Coyote's Mask. You got Pesti Sawyers down and Pesti Sawyers up. Now, one of the things that actually really hurts the Sawyers variant is we are losing 15% weapon damage. Yes, we can make up for this with expertise, but still, without Sawyer's knees active, we're literally dropping like 16.6% total DPS. Like, it's a huge drop when Sawyer's knees is not active. With Sawyer's knees active, we actually do get, well, it's a 2.2% increase in DPS. And in terms of like the overall tick damage, we're losing like 12% on the tick without Sawyer's knees, and then with the tick active, we are gaining near enough 8%. But still, this percentage increase, although it sounds like a lot, the way you kind of want to read those numbers is almost akin to like DPS. So it's the number below the test base. So the 1454480, and then the 128, and then the 156. This is the tick damage that you would get with Pesti on Coyote, Sawyers, and then Sawyers with it active. The tick happens per second, so you'll be looking at this as like a percentage value, which if we then add into the actual DPS of the numbers I showed earlier, Sawyer's knees at max is barely scraping 3% DPS increase across the board. But if you don't have Sawyer's up, you're losing over 15.8%. Like, I would argue they're just not worth it. It's another thing to micromanage for barely a 3% increase, and if you don't have it up, the loss is massive. Like, I personally would argue just don't do it. However, if you do want to do it, go nuts, I suppose. Have fun, good luck, don't die. It's bad for the health.